As with most of the European capitals, cycling as a commute in Prague is well developed with dedicated cycling paths. Although Prague is quite walkable, it can easily get very exhausting if you want to cover everything on foot. This is where the public transport comes into picture. I had a 3-day unlimited pass and it was the most value for money option. There are 5-day and 7-day passes available too, so choose the one that best suits your needs as per your duration of stay. Public transportation is very convenient in most of the areas visitors are likely to frequent. One key thing to note if you are staying outside of the city center is that public transport buses do not enter the historic districts, Old Town, New Town, Lower Town, etc., so as to prevent air and noise pollution. One must transfer to a cleaner and quieter electric-powered tram or a metro before reaching historic areas. Like other places, you gotta watch out for scammers on trains as well. Be astute on sleeper trains, as bag robberies are on the increase between major stations. Ask for ID from anyone who asks to take your ticket or passport, and lock your backpacks to the luggage rack. Keep valuables on you and maintain common sense. If you enter the metro, usually at night, you may find a team of con artists at the stations, saying that they are metro clerks, and after examining your ticket for some time, they say that it's invalid and that you'll have to pay a fine of 500 Czech crowns. 1000 for example, if you argue with them. So if you happen to see them and you're sure that your ticket is valid, tell them to call the police or call them yourself. Remember that Prague Metro ticket inspectors have to produce their badge in order to check your ticket and issue a fine. So if they don't do this as soon as you approach them, then they're most certainly fakes. Deceptive taxi drivers are another trap that can badly surprise a tourist. Taxi drivers at the central station may show you a printed card that details flat fares for travel within the city. This is completely a scam. Don't fall for it. If the cab doesn't have a taximeter, don't even bother entering it. Don't walk alone into deserted areas, even if you feel that you can protect yourself. Better be safe than sorry. Take precautions. If you have time, then use the public transport and head to Vezerad. While Prague Castle gets all the love, Vezerad, located in the southern part of the city, was also one of the original castles of the kings of Prague. It was built around the 10th century and contains Prague's oldest surviving building, the Rotunda of St. Martin. Few tourists ever come here, so most likely you'll have the castle and its views of Prague to yourself. It also offers good upriver views of the city. Prague is a stunningly beautiful and a historic city. Sometimes you'll find yourself meandering aimlessly its winding streets, finding random restaurants, markets and churches, sitting and watching the people go by, getting happily lost and finding your own offbeat attraction and things to do while you're here. Prague will surprise you. Travel is, after all, an act of discovery. The city caters to the requirements of all types of travelers. If you're someone who loves architecture, history or art, you'll have enough to go about the city for weeks, if not months. And if you're an outdoor person into sports, then feel free to explore the outdoor parks and stadiums. I actually had no clue that baseball was popular anywhere outside the US, but then as it turns out, it is. Prague offers a view with a fine balance between the old and the new. Part of the city looks very modern and in line with what one would expect from a European capital city, while other parts still savor and preserve the old town charm. With a lush green cover and old school red rooftops, this is one of the most beautiful cities I've ever explored. The skyline is mostly flat, but besides a few high-rises, the Zizkov television tower is another which is usually talked about. The tower faced many criticisms at first as looking like Soviet architecture. Then David Cerny, a Czech artist, decorated it with sculptures of crawling babies. This brilliant idea changed the people's perspective, and today this 216-meter structure is the tallest in the city and features places of relaxation and 360-degree views of the surroundings. It has decks with antenna and equipment are placed and also offers a viewpoint to the city. Prague is also a dream destination for adventure sports. I tried skydiving here and it's so much more affordable to do it here compared to some of the neighboring countries like Germany, Poland or Austria for example. I made a detailed video about my skydiving experience. Check the video if you have skydiving on your bucket list as well.